this guy actually had me, like, I had goosebumps. It was that good. But it was because he's passionate. It was because he loves what he does. Then when he goes to do my shoulders, this blew me away, the attention to detail. He actually puts this little mask on his mouth, this little
Wow, so it
clear
doesn't breathe
mask,
on you.
so he doesn't breathe on my neck and ruin my experience.
Welcome to Marketing with Vino, the edutainment business growth podcast, mixing education and entertainment to make growing your service business much more fun. Your hosts, Quinton Venter, online marketing expert, and Gabby Kowalski, creator of the Business Freedom Formula, have a glass of wine and share powerful and up-to-date strategies to help grow your service business fast.
Hey guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Marketing with Vino. We are international today. I'm here in Sydney. Gabby is over there in Bali. She's spending a couple of days there at a beautiful retreat with one of her new mentors, but also catching up with great friends. So Gabby, tell us a little bit about where you're at and what's that beautiful... You showed me some scenery behind you. Maybe you can give our viewers a bit of a look too.
So listeners, I'll do my best to describe it, and viewers on YouTube, check this place out. So I'm actually visiting beautiful friends of mine, Tay and Demir, and they live in this stunning villa. So for all you YouTube people, right behind me, I'm in the pool house. Right behind me is this lovely, gorgeous, long pool. Behind that is the main villa house. And there's like literally rainforest all the way around us. Like you can't see it because this little wall is blocking it, but you can sort of see all the trees. Yeah. It is beautiful. Like, it is so stunning here. I've got, you should check out my bathroom. I've got this gorgeous outdoor bathroom, and it's got not one, not two, not three, 4 showers.
Four shower heads or actual showers?
Yeah, so there's like this pillar, and it's got these massive shower heads. So far I've used 2. My intention for tomorrow morning is to put them all on and just run around. It's going to run around the pole, and it's going to be awesome.
That's
Beautiful,
brilliant.
like this gorgeous big bath, and it gets all lit up at night. There's like massive bamboo wall and rainforest all behind it. It is stunning.
I've got a
absolutely
question
love it.
for you. Why aren't you in the pool shooting Marketing with Vino?
That's a really great question. I'm glad you asked that question. Because I actually don't like chlorine, and it's not a saltwater pool. My little skin, it's funny. Gosh, you guys are gonna laugh. So I have filtered water in my whole house. I shower in it. I cook in it. I bathe in it. I don't have exposure to chlorine. And last time I went swimming in chlorine here, I had like little like dots all over me, and I was itchy, and I'm like, yeah. So that's why that's not happening. Instead, I'm sitting in the pool house, which is very close to the pool, and that's why that's happening.
Love it.
Plus, when the sun comes out, it would really be difficult for you to see.
Okay.
But that's really not the reason. No. I would have dealt with that. I would have done that one. So guys, we got something really cool to share with you, and it's to do with, who do you need to bring to the table to make sure your marketing works. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, so as you're listening to this, if you've ever been in a situation where you've launched a marketing campaign and you followed the formula to a friggin' T and it didn't work, and you're thinking, I don't get it. I either paid for a course or I read this thing and I did it just as I was meant to. I did my research and it just didn't result in clients.
Yeah.
I spent money and it didn't work. So granted, yes, it could be your strategy. It honestly could. And we're going to cover a little bit about how you communicate specifically with Facebook advertising to ensure that your market resonates with it. 2, it's also, to me, everything boils down to mindset, meaning that, if you're in a scarcity mindset, if you're marketing from a place of, I need clients, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, there's something weird that happens. Your marketing when you look at the law of attraction, when you look at just how the quantum physics works, when you're in a state of, I'm rolling, I'm friggin' cruising, I'm happy, business is doing great, I'm not kidding, the right people see your ads. And I know it sounds a bit woohoo and a bit odd, but just your ads will show up at the right time at the right place. It's that kind of coincidence feeling. Like, when you're in a great state and you just meet the right person at the right time.
You're just in flow, yeah.
Yep. So we want your marketing to flow. And when your marketing flows, it does return on investment. It floods you with awesome, perfect clients. So we're going to cover strategy and mindset around what's behind the scenes that actually has the flow, has the synchronicity, has the coincidences occur. So first up, let's go with the mindset, because to me, it's actually first up, the mind's got to be there. Like if your mind's on board, then the strategy will work.
What would you say is the ratio of that? Because you talk about mindset a lot. What would you say is mindset versus strategy ratio?
Honestly, I reckon it's 80-20. And I kid you not, sometimes I think it's a 99-1.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
If I have to give it one, I'd say 80-20. But I've also seen where, especially like in my first business, I didn't know crap. And my mindset was 100%. And I don't even know how I did it. It was just who I was in the sales presentation. And I got sales and I got leads. And later on when I looked back, oh my God, was like once I learnt the ins and outs of the business, I was like, how the crap did I even make any money?
Yeah.
No kidding. So to be honest with you, I'd say 80-20, but really I reckon it's more like 99-1. Because if the mind's not there, I don't believe the strategies work. I really, truly don't.
You know, that's so true, Gabby. If I just think about going back to that local corner shop or back in the day before we had social media and we were just based on our local communities, the person who had an amazing skill or trade, he would just be falling in love with that, he or she, and they'll just go and execute on it. They'll just go and do it, not really knowing the vast information that we have access to at this point in time with the information age. They wouldn't really think about it. They'll just go and do it, and they'll love what they're doing. They'll be in that flow state, and they get rewarded for it because they're coming from authenticity as how to execute on it. And yes, they can be doing little marketing campaigns with yellow pages or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're in their state. They attract that to them where they're like, I freaking love what I'm doing. I could keep doing this day in, day out.
And same with me. So here's where, to me, when the mindset's right, when you're actually in alignment with your business, when you love your message, when you love what you're about, when you love what you're giving to the world, when you're like crazy passionate about it, you're called to action. Like I've been waking up because obviously the time difference from Melbourne to Bali is 3 hours, and meaning backwards, right? So I'm getting up at like early. It's dark.
Yeah.
And I've been waking up, like it's slowly creeping up, but I'm still getting up at like 6 in the morning here, and 5, 6, it's dark. I wake up. I'm so pumped around what I'm creating. I've been like, my holidays, I've been working every morning. I'm like, I'm well in advance on my projects. I've got like this cool little scrum board on my phone, so I could go mobile with my scrum board. And if you haven't listened to previous podcasts, check them out. You'll find out about the scrum board.
Yes.
And I'm just so like, I'm waking up and I'm called to action because I'm so passionate and so connected to my mission, to my message, right? This is where, to me, when you look at business, where you walk in and you can tell the person is in a great place. You can tell the person loves what they do. You can tell the person, the people in the business are happy. There's a vibe they give off. There just is. Like you go in there and you can't help but want to go back there again.
Yeah.
I went and got a massage. A couple of days ago, I went and got a massage at the most freaking awesome place. Like this place is the best culture, I swear. Not only was it beautiful, but I loved it. Like you walk up this beautiful little path, and just in front of the place is this massive waterfall fountain imaging, but that's on a just a big glass plate. Then behind that you come in, and there you have your massage parlor. And what it is that it's all hidden. There's like these big grand doors that lead you to all the coolness, but at the front there's people serving, and they've each got, what was it, Kokoda or something? They've each got T-shirts on, and they, like all their T-shirts, branding say, I heart working in Kokoda Massage Parlor.
That is awesome. It's brilliant for culture. Wow.
Isn't it beautiful? It's these big-ass I heart working here. They're all lovely. And what I loved was they're like, what's your name? They get your name. And then they constantly call you by your name. So it's Mr. Quinton, or they call me Miss Gabby, right? It's so beautiful. And they're like, Mr. Quinton, what massage would you like? And they give you a menu, and you're like, I'd like this massage. And like, okay, thank you, Mr. Quinton. And then they give you another menu and say, what music would you like to listen to? Because they give you individual iPods. So like they've got a whole chart of different, so to meet everyone's needs, relaxation, jazz, hip hop, like whatever, right?
That's
you could possibly
awesome.
Want. So you pick your music. They're like, okay. Then they bring you another menu, and they say, what aromatherapy would you like in your oils? And they've got all these different ones, but they're all linked to how you're going to feel. So if you want to feel happy, if you want to feel relaxed, if you want to feel rejuvenated, if you want to feel, joyful, whatever, right? So it's you want to feel this way? Choose this one. So what I loved was they're like totally working on all the senses. They're like really tapping into, sound, touch, smell, because obviously you're going to get touched.
Yeah.
But they're like rocking it out, the senses. You pick all of that stuff. Then they call out your masseuse. And this is incredible, right? They say to you, okay, in the first 15 minutes, if you're not 100% happy with your masseuse, just let us know and we'll get you another one until we find you the exact fit that makes you feel comfortable and does the best job for you. I'm like, whoa, right? So, but wait, there's more. My point I'm trying to make with this, and as I get through it, it's when you can tell there's love in this business. You can tell that, like the person who created this business,
care, yeah.
They really care, right? Like it's important. They've gone all these extra miles. And so then the masseuse comes out and I meet my masseuse and then the big grand doors open up to this hallway that's literally tiled from floor to ceiling. It's only lit up on the wall side where they've got these massive vases filled with large happy bamboos and the lighting's lighting up the bottom of the vase. So it's just this gorgeous flow of light filling. You're walking in and it's so cool. Air conditioning is working beautifully. You're walking in and you kind of feel like, gosh, this is just amazing, right? Then another two big doors open up from your masseuse. You walk into the room. I chose a foot and shoulder, 90-minute foot and shoulder massage. So I've walked into the foot and shoulder massage room where they've got about, I think they have about eight big lounge, like Balinese furniture, awesome lounge kind of pillow things, stunning. In front of each one of them is your own private fish tank filled with tropical fish.
Could you choose the fish as well?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing that. But no, there was fishies. And then you sit down, you lie down, they give you your music, you got your own private music, you got your fish tank, and oh my God, it was the best massage I've ever had. Like it was second to none. These guys, all their masseuses are super qualified, certified, like they go extra mile. This is what got me though. Like all of this, if all of this wasn't enough and the love and this guy like smiles all the way and it was so genuine, Quentin. Like it was, it didn't feel fake. He's like, hey, Miss Gabby, and so like happy to do what he does. Really putting passion. Normally I find with massages that for me anyway, like if I have a close friend massage me, because we have rapport, it feels better. Like there's this kind of
Absolutely.
Have you ever had that where, like, literally, like, I feel goosebumps and there's, like, this extra kind of, it feels extra awesome.
Yes.
That I wish some of my friends went and did more courses so they could be even more skilled, right?
Send this episode to them.
Yes. What was incredible, though, was that that this guy actually had me, like, I had goosebumps. It was that good. But it was because he's passionate. It was because he loves what he does. Then when he goes to do my shoulders, this blew me away, the attention to detail. He actually puts this little mask on his mouth, this little clear mask, so he doesn't breathe on my neck and ruin my experience. Wow. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. Then we walk out, everyone's happy. Miss Gabby, how was that? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I walk out thinking, whoa, that was an epic experience. Like not only was the mask, I'll go back, I'm going back there like heaps of times before I leave here. And I've raved about it to anyone that will listen.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, right? That when a business has true flow and passion, it just works, like it just works. Even in their write-up, it's, like their menus, like say, we're so pleased you chose us. We're so happy to serve you. We're like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I share this story because it's so relevant to this, guys, that, that when you actually tap into why you're in business, tap into that passion, that purpose, that vibe of what had you, drive your business in the first place, that energy, when you take that energy to your marketing, oh my freaking God, does the game change. Because you speak from your heart, you speak from a beautiful place. You're not speaking from I need clients, you're speaking from I am so happy I get to do this.
Yeah.
And there's something very distinctly different about that. People love that. It makes them feel incredible. So to me, like you were saying with years ago with the small business owners, they didn't have internet back then. The truth of the matter is it was John the butcher and Sally the baker and, and what is it that got them to succeed? And it really was their flow. It was that they'd remember your name, that they knew their product in and out. Yeah. They would like advise you. That there was this true, genuine care and connection that came. And if we were to translate that and take that online, Give that same love. Like, be vulnerable enough in your marketing to speak from your why. Be vulnerable enough in your marketing to be grateful to actually be in business in the first place, to share your message from that beautiful place. I believe it makes the most profound difference.
Absolutely.
However, I do believe that we need to be in the right headspace to deliver on that. That if in business we're in the headspace of I need more money, we're actually not connected to our mission or our vision anymore. We're connected to, oh shit, I've got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And when we market from a perspective of shit, I need new clients, we don't connect, because think about it, like the vibe, the personality, passion doesn't exist in scarcity. How can you possibly be passionate and also freaking out and worried at the same time?
Passionately scared.
Or you can be that, passionately freaking out. But it's true. Like, have you ever noticed that when you're passionate, you're not in fear?
You don't care about anything, the little things anymore. All of a sudden, your level of thinking has gone up above the line, and therefore you can see clearer. It's like you're above the clouds of all the haze and everything that's going on.
You're in a wicked state. And so for us, as business owners, it's important to maintain state. It's important to maintain feeling good. It's important to, no matter what's in the bank account, no matter what last month was like, to tap into where you're headed, what your vision is, what your purpose is, why you're doing this in the first place. And like, if that means that every morning you get up and spend 15 minutes doing gratitudes and being grateful for what you've already achieved so far, and then spend another few minutes visualizing your next goals achieved, visualizing your business full, getting yourself into a beautiful flow. If that's what it takes, do it. I do that every morning and several times a day. I say get into a great state, then market. Get into an awesome state, then market. Never market from a reaction place, because to me, everything in business is created in the be, do, have formula. Be the being, take inspired, do action, and have the result. Whereas a lot of business owners, where their marketing sucks, aren't be, do, having, they're do. They're going, I'll do this so I can have this so I can be happy. And it's backwards. Like, it's not the way you do it. Your marketing will smell, and people just won't be drawn to it. Even if you follow the best copywriting templates, even if you have the best strategy.
No strategy can save you if you're not the right person driving it. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. So, this is our invitation to you guys to let you know that if you really want to kick ass at marketing, spend time maintaining an epic state. Spend time tapping into your why. Like, gosh, how many times have we spoken about why in Marketing with Vino?
It's because it's so important. It is the number one driving force. If I'll tell you a story of a client that we currently have. He has a CrossFit gym out in Penrith Way, which in New South Wales is a little bit out west. And before he came to us, he was sitting at 78 clients. And for him to survive, he needs to be at 90 clients. That is for his business to be comfortable. That's just getting his head above water so that he can then actually start doing some other things than just trying to survive the whole time. And what we got him to do is actually get into a position of his business to know that once he reaches 90, anything above that is going to be extras. That's when he can then start to look at, let's get some extra staff on, let's start outsourcing some things and get some systems in place for him to start leveraging. Up until that point, he'll have to work his ass off. And the number one thing that we ask him is, are you prepared to do what it takes? And he goes, yeah, I'm prepared to give it everything that I need to do. We're like, all right, cool. Let's move forward. So what we got him doing, because he got into that state of action taking and getting shit done, and it's like, I will do whatever it takes to do this, to make this happen. We did some numbers on him to work out what is the lifetime value of his customer, so that we know what a customer is worth, and then how much are we going to be prepared to spend to acquire a customer. Now, long story short, we came down and presented an amazing offer for people to come and give them a go for 28 days, only paying $47 for the first month, and also being able to tag a friend along. Here's what happened, Gabs. This was his 90-day goal, right? To go from 78 to 90 clients, paying clients by the end of January. In less than 30 days, he was able to get to 98 clients. He's currently at 99. But here's where it becomes extra interesting. So,
that's freaking awesome.
Yes. So those clients came in, but they're still not paying the full price. So they're still paying just enough to get an experience. So we advise them on the next stages. Start giving them the most amazing experience. Write them handwritten cards. Send them a welcomes pack. Keep track along the way. Keep them accountable. Experience the community for what it is. So he's doing all of that left, right, and center. He's absolutely gone at it.
Good on him.
Then he reached out to David and I, and he goes, guys, today is one of those days where I need your support. I need to know if this is still working. If I just need some form of validation
Hope
that you guys are helping me in the long-term strategy, and we are getting there. And that's just where we recognize where he's at. I mean, for you to need to be at 90 to be surviving, like he just got an X amount of influx of clients coming in, but they're not full-time clients. They're not full-paying clients. So just that little bit, I believe he said he had $98 in the account, and he can't pay the bills for until the next payment comes in, which was another couple of weeks away. And it was simply based on, here's where it's going to be at the end of those 28 days. Those clients, if you've done your job well enough, you're going to convert them and onboard them to become paying clients. That is when the game changes. Where you are right now, it is completely natural to be in that state. I mean, you're going to have these days, and that's why we have you. That's why we have your back. But it was also to recognize that, yes, you have X amount in the account right now. You got to find a way to make this happen, just to see this through. I mean, it is the last little bit of struggle until your head is above water. And you know what happened? He gunned it. He's like, thanks, fellas. Thank you so much for the support.
That's all he needed. Sometimes that's
all that he needed. And from that, he just simply, he's gone up. He's in a happy state. He's just been killing it left, right, and center. So next week is the final week for the very first clients that came on for the 28 days. And he is looking forward to converting each and every one of them based on the feedback that he's received, which means he's excelled his 90-day goal to get 90 members. He's at an extra 10 on top, which gives him an extra X amount of K per month. He's happy, but it only happened because he got in a state of actually wanting this more than anything. He was prepared to do whatever it takes.
Honestly, I love this story because there's two really important keys in this story. One, you have to want it. If you don't want it, guys, honestly, like if it's not a must for you, it won't work. Like I really believe that business is easy when it's a must for you, because when it's a must, when you're passionate, when you're driven, when there's a fire inside of you, you do the do, like this guy's doing the do. And yes, every now and then you may sort of go off, you may have a down moment, and all you need is somebody to tell you, keep going. You're literally this close. Just keep going. You just need someone sometimes, to let you know. So let this podcast be the one that lets you know. Just keep going. I promise you, just keep going, keep giving, keep loving, keep putting your passion out there. You are this close. If you haven't got there yet, you are this friggin' close.
Yeah, absolutely.
And trust in the process that when you give, the return will come. If your service is awesome, if you're fueling it with passion, if you're truly making a difference and serving others, it will turn over. Those people will turn and share even more. The best, still to this day, the best form of marketing is referral marketing. It just is.
Yeah.
It's having people share with other people. You can't beat it. And the way that we deliver on that is by injecting love, passion, value, and not value in the sense that if anyone here is listening to this and has heard add more value to your business and you're just going to have added more free shit, it's not that. Adding value is adding a level of care, a level of, commitment to get the person their results, a level of absolute passion. That's adding value.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? And
Absolutely.
a level of customer service, a level of connection, a level of letting your heart out, letting yourself be vulnerable. So massively permitting, massively letting you guys know, keep going, you're almost there. You're like that guy, chipping away to get the gold, and it's literally right there. Please don't turn around and let the gold be taken by somebody else.
Absolutely.
Upon that.
I just wanted to add there, one of the key things that I when it was in this state was to point out that in times of chaos, everyone turns to the leader to look for certainty and for calmness. And that is essentially when character is being shaped. And it is how you come to class. It's how you show up day to day, regardless of what's going on in your personal life. The way that you show up for your clients determines your commitment, and that builds character. And character is is the most important thing that we have. Is we have our own characters, what we stand for, how do we present ourselves. So if that is the case, where you're faced with this certain chaos, take it as you're being developed. It's not what you're being developed for right now in this very moment. It is being developed for what you can handle in next month, next year, in the next 5 years, the next 10 years. The conversations that you need to have right now, the uncomfortability that you're experiencing around certain conversations or doings or whatever it may be, it is to develop you to be able to take care of it in the future. And that was it. On. And it is, as he started stepping in, he was like, thank you guys, like that's all that I needed. I just needed to know that, cool, we're on the right track and I'm still powering through. I'm still doing everything that I said I'm going to do. He's so committed. It's hats off to him. Like, he is absolutely amazing. And he's being able to see it through. And that's the lesson in it. He's building his own character. And you know what's the irony here, right? Is he has a gym where he's training his clients to become a better version of themselves. And he if a client came to him in a moment of, you know what, I'm just not being able to get myself motivated anymore. Like, I just don't know. Can you please just tell me if I'm on the right track, if I'm here and I'm going to achieve those goals and it's going to be better in the next 28 days. Like, if a client came to him, he would have had the answer on the spot. He would be like, hell yeah, I've got your back. This is what you do. You just got to keep going through. You've got to keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track, blah, blah, blah. But we can't see that for ourselves. And that's oftentimes when we have to have those people around us that can pick us up, that can help
100%. You know, to me, like, if I didn't have the network of awesome humans around me, if I didn't have mentors, you know, throughout my whole journey, my God, like, you know, I've always had a mentor in my, you know, someone that I could, like what you guys are doing for him, and obviously what I do for my clients. I've always had someone there, because that person is your personal trainer, you know, your business trainer, so to speak. Yeah. Because every one of us can get to a place where it's unknown, it's new, where, you know, as we grow in business, just get this, right? Whenever you grow, you're going into uncharted territory. So what happens? You get uncertain. You don't have the full picture because you haven't been there before. You know, it's like, it's weird, right? But have you ever noticed that whenever you're driving somewhere new or walking somewhere new, it takes like twice as long to get there than it does to get back?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that?
On the way back, you're like, oh, we're already here.
That was,
what?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's so much longer.
But this is what it's like in growing a business. It's also what it's like in any area of life that someone's going into the unknown. And to me, the person who rocks out at business is the person that can handle a very high level of uncertainty. Yeah. The person that, honestly, and these moments shape our ability, stretch us beyond a point where we're faced with uncertainty. And every time we survive uncertainty in business, we grow our muscle around being comfortable with it. And this is where, you know, a lot of the times it will take years to get to certain business goals because of who you need to become to manage the level of business that's up here on this level, because your ability to manage uncertainty has to match the level of that business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd be a micromanaging nutcase. You know, to go from a level 2 business to a level 8 business. I just presuppose there's 10 levels. I'm just gonna make that up right now. But if you don't mean, like, if there's levels to it, if you've only ever had 2 staff, for you to make the quantum leap to have 100 staff overnight, you're gonna break because of there's certain developments that you need to undertake as a leader. You know, to be able to manage and to soothe 100 people that are like, nah, at you, you know, and be cool about it and to bring out the best in them. But it's the level of, just get this, guys, the level of uncertainty you can handle will determine how fast you grow in business. Now, that means embrace uncertainty. Embrace, like, if you can embrace uncomfort zones and see uncomfort zones as your opportunity to grow into the person that stays cool and calm and doesn't let the small shit sweat you. So to me, whenever we let small shit sweat us, we're literally blocking our growth, no matter what it is. Yeah. I don't care what it is. And yes, to be honest with you, the first time shit happens to you, you're probably going to sweat it a little bit. You know, there's always going to be something. Business is such a quantum soup of possibilities that there could be the first time a client does something and cancels, or the first time a client, whatever, right, complains about something that you didn't know about. And you know, it teaches you to get even more fine-tuned with your marketing and your avatar, so you only work with a certain kind of market that loves your style of doing business. All of that kind of stuff. I love that topic. You know, which also means when it comes to marketing, guys, that you also want to be comfortable with trying strategies around marketing, but sticking with them until they deliver. So you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Launch a Facebook ad. My God, don't look at it every 2 seconds and see if it's working. Like, yes, if there's something to do around it, like if you've asked people to, comment or do something. But if you launch an ad and you're like looking at it every hour, has anyone bought? Has anyone bought? Has anyone bought?
Yeah.
It's no different to planting a seed in the ground and digging it up every friggin' hour. Have you grown yet? No, put you back in.
Yeah.
Have you grown yet? It is.
Absolutely.
So this is where in marketing, be comfortable with uncertainty. Be comfortable with the fact that you're going to launch a marketing campaign, right? And you got to tweak it as you go. Be cool. So once again, it's all about state. If you're comfortable and you maintain a really good head on your shoulders and you're happy and you're calm, you're going to be resourceful. You're going to go, okay, well, what could we tweak? What could we improve? Versus, why isn't it working? Bah!
Absolutely. And it's also just from on that topic from a past presentation we had with a room full of business owners, that also came up that yes, you have so many tactics that you can go and deploy, that each and every thing that you can go and do is just another tactic. But to keep in mind that how does that tactic fit in a strategy? That if you have a strategy, that is the most important thing, because you can track and measure it to work towards the overarching goal. Tactics you can change up, you can try new things, but if you're going to diss a strategy just because it's not returning straight away, that is where I need you to focus on, because it doesn't matter what tactic you're going to throw at it. If your strategy isn't sound, it's not going to deliver any results. So it comes from, you need to be at a certain place in your business or a certain state, have a killer strategy that is set with benchmarks and track KPIs that can be measured, and then on top of that, deploy the right tactic that's going to best suit that strategy.
And upon that note, we're going to share some really cool Facebook gold with you right now. So let's just presuppose you're in this great state. You're like, yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm not going to sweat the small shit. I'm going to maintain an epic state no matter what, because people want to hang out with epic people. They don't want to hang out with someone who's depressed and worried. Yeah. So this is like, okay, now I'm happy. I'm ready to rock this out. Let's market. So when it comes to, like Quinton and I were just talking about this before we pressed record, when it comes to Facebook marketing, there's a different kind of message you deliver on Facebook than you might on your website, or you might some other, in another form. And this is where, when you have a look, your client at any given time has negatives and positives, or what Quinton calls their dream story or their nightmare story. Yeah. Their nightmare story is the worst case scenario. It's like, oh my God, if I don't do anything about this, I'm going to die, lose my toe, break my leg, and my nose will fall off. And then there's their, well, metaphorically, right?
Absolutely. That's definitely true if someone wants to go down. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, right. It's a nightmare story. Their dream story is everything they could possibly want. Oh my God, I'm going to be able to live forever. My nose will be intact. I'll have like bones that never break. Look, just sticking with the theme. Yeah. Now, because we all, like, our markets are filled with this. There's a dream story and a nightmare story, and you can break this down into, there's positives and negatives. Your client is going to have problems, frustrations, fears. Negatives. They're going to have positives. They're going to have wants, aspirations, desires. And so this is where on Facebook you want to market to the positive. You don't want to go in negative, because Facebook audience and Facebook itself doesn't like to neg out their customer base. Facebook doesn't want to be negative. It wants to be known as positive. So when you share your message, when you are actually looking for clients, speak on the dream story, speak on the aspirations, dreams, desires side of things. So don't go, hey, fat people, I've got my 12-week boot camp. Your ad won't even get approved because Facebook doesn't like it. Yeah. It's like literally go into how, speak the language of their dreams. And I believe you got some even more cool shit to add to that. So you're the master of this. Go.
Absolutely. Thank you. One of the ways we like to explain it is marketing is nothing but transitioning your clients from sad face to happy face. That is all that marketing is. Marketing is not just limited to setting up the sale or creating awareness. Marketing is educating your audience that you can continue to solve the next problem for them in a better, more effective way and get greater results than anyone else. That is all that your marketing does. It's not just the one-off sale. It is taking your customers through a journey. And we start by their sad phase, their negative, their dream or their nightmare story as to knowing where they are. Now, it's just important to know where they are so that we know how our products and services can transition them into a happy phase. See, when we go about putting this together, we want to know exactly what is the hot buttons, but not just any hot button. We want to know what are the hot buttons that really, really gets this person going, that really moves them forward. And one of the things that we look at is, more importantly, who are the most important people in this prospect's life. And that could be directly, if it's business related, it could be their business partners or just their intimate partner. It could be their family, it could be their mom and dad, or anyone that is very close to them. And what we then try and think about is, from that prospect's perspective, what do their intimate loved ones think of them? Now, that is like some inception form to determine exactly what is the most emotional hot buttons for your prospect. And if I just take our customer, for example, ours is that his current view of the world is he's in a bad place. Like, he knows business is tough. But if we take his partner, most likely his wife, who's also got it on, and how they perceive their husband, they come from a spot of, wow, like, he's actually done some amazing stuff in this world. Like, I'm freaking proud of him. Like, he's provided for the family and so forth. Now, we can also go down another path there where if in that case that the partner may not be so happy that he's neglecting me. So now all of a sudden I see him less. He's working long hours. And now we know exactly how do we want to take these angles and what approach we want to go. So if we look at someone's nightmare story in this particular case, where that particular person, nightmare story is business goes bankrupt, he loses everything, he loses his wife, he loses his kids, he loses his house, he may end up back at his parents' place, or they may not be able to take him back on, so now he's homeless. And what is he going to do now? That is his nightmare. Now we go to his dream, where all of a sudden, because we know his partner is one of his most important people in his life, we know that the partner is absolutely adoring him. Like, she's champing him on and up-talking him to all of her friends. His kids are looking up to him. He is super proud. He not as much of how much he's earned or what he's built. He's just happy.
He gets to be Superman in his life.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, he gets to look after his family. And here's another step on top of it. So we also ask, how does the outside world view him? And this is where it got so interesting, because the way that the outside world viewed him was, you're living the dream. You're freaking awesome. You're challenging the status quo. Good on you for starting your own business. You're absolutely rocking at it. You are amazing. Like, look at everything you have. Internally, how he's feeling, and this is the contrast, he's like, this shit is fucking hard. Like, I'm struggling here. I don't even know if I'm going to survive. Like, I know that things used to be great.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted, yes, and I'm too afraid to even tell my wife or even to admit to it. Like, that stuff there is powerful. Now we can use that in the context of how we're going to approach our audience online. And if we take Facebook for that, we move forward, and we ideally want to shift them. We want to recognize where they are, and then we want to guide them through to the dream story, and then we want to plan our service or our product in between that's going to cause that transition. See, we're not making it about our product or service at all. We're simply saying, we know that you are here, and we know that you want to be here. This is how we're going to transition from nightmare to dream. And that is ultimately
tell me a little bit, because I know with Facebook, like, you're not really going too hard and direct on the nightmare. So you're with Facebook ads, you're sticking a lot in the dream. You're sticking a lot in calling them to the positives, because Facebook's not too fond.
Yeah.
So share a little bit with the peoples as to, well, yeah, it's important to know all the negatives. It's really important, but just get that if your copy goes, if you've got headaches and sore teeth and if you're feeling a bit fat and you can't, you got pimples everywhere and people don't really want to resonate with that. Like no one's going to want to engage and like your post because that means that they are admitting to the fact that they have these problems.
Absolutely. So I'll share your copy here because you have an amazing example of this. So for Gabby's copy, we've determined.
Do you want me to read it or?
We will get to that in a moment. We're just going to break it down and we'll take them through the actual thing. Have it ready though. So the way that we have Gabby's copy set up is Gabby has identified that her ideal person, she doesn't like to be called out on the negative. She holds herself very high. So if you're going to call her out that business is tough, isn't it? She's not going to own up to that shit. She's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So my client, my ideal client's an overachiever. She's an absolute overachiever. And, she's a friggin' wicked, awesome action taker. She does not, like, even though she needs help, she's a bit independent, and ultimately she's not going to resonate with a message of business is tough. We know it's tough, blah, blah, blah. You got this problem, that problem, that problem, that problem. Yeah. Come do my workshop, and I'll fix your problems for you. Because to her, even if she's got the problems, she won't own up to it. She will not. She's an overachiever. She literally buries a lot of that stuff internally. Yeah. She's got a few select people in her world that she'll open up to. But for the most part, she holds a certain status. She's got a status in her networks of being successful. And she's not going to break that status. Now, this is deep stuff on my avatar. But ultimately, it's important for you guys to know too, where is your avatar at? Who is this person as a character, in society? Because, if they're the kind of person that, that likes to gossip and they like to, that they're a bit of a poor me, then they're going to resonate with a negative message. Yeah. But if they're not, if they're an overachiever, if they're one of the top blah, blah, blah percent, I promise you, going in negative never works. It doesn't work on me either. So
the way that we approached this, because we know Gabby's ideal client's nightmare and dream story, we went the approach of actually acknowledging where she's currently, the great that she's currently done. And then we tied it in slightly with a bit of a nightmare story going on. So it actually went from, we recognize where you are. You've done an amazing job so far for what you've built. But imagine if you didn't have to do it alone. And that's kind of where the nightmare story comes in, on a positive spin of it, where it is, just imagine that you had someone with you, presupposing that she doesn't have anyone there, that she's struggling doing it all herself. And the reason why we took this approach is purely because we recognize where she's at and what she will resonate with. Another way that we would be able to amplify the positive state of things, rather than using a photo that portrays the negative. So if someone is stressed out, rather than having that anxiety photo or someone having a headache and having the hand on their head, we would actually put a picture up of the ideal self. So more around recognizing the ideal state, and then putting that in display, because ultimately we know that most people are more driven by away from than towards. But if we can just slightly recognize where they are, so that's pushing them away, and really highlight the award state, Facebook will help us with that. They will recognize it and they will most likely increase the reach that we get. But it's also the people who are going to experience that, they're going to find that is a bit refreshing, because there's so much noise going on where people are constantly hammering them on business is tough, the worst economy ever. What's going to happen with Donald Trump? What's this? What's that? You shouldn't do that, and overworked. So it's really taking a whole new spin on it, but still be in line with your ideal avatar. So, Gabby, have you got it in front of you? And just read them through it.
And guys, as you listen to this, listen to how beautifully we tap into the negatives, but we position them in a, imagine if, and it's literally, we're taking a negative and we're literally turning it all the way around into it's already taken care of. So we're hinting at, we're not directly, we're like hinting at. So just listen to this. So it goes, do you own a business in Australia? ? Well, yeah. Has anyone ever told you how freaking awesome you are? Just think back at what you've achieved so far. You created this awesome business where you help people and you are a genius at what you do. You function from a place of wisdom where people can come to you with any problem and you can solve it. This is the kind of stuff others would love to have, and you have it. Ultimately, though, imagine if you didn't have to do it on your own. Imagine if you had somebody else who could take some of your to-do list and help you with it, taking care of some stuff you don't enjoy doing as much and build it up. Imagine the traction you'd get with completing all your projects on time. Imagine where you will go to and what is possible for you in 2017. Imagine how fast you will create everything you want with somebody else by your side who believes in you, who sees your awesomeness and who can fill in the gaps. I believe you can be, do, and have it all in business. And on the 22nd of January, I'm running an event for business owners here in Melbourne, and you're invited. On the day, I'll be giving you the complete blueprint to attract high profits, upgrade your marketing, and create independent staff so you can achieve the time, money, and lifestyle freedom in less time and with more fun along the way. And then there's a testimonial. I implemented Gabby's culture and leverage system where we fine-tuned our culture and crafted a job ad specifically designed to attract the right staff. I now have a full and awesome team, as well as only working in the business 1 to 2 days a week. I'm living life again, traveling overseas and enjoying regular short getaways, back at the gym and having fun. Thank you, Gabby. Melanie Rummel, Advanced Skin and Beauty. For just $47, you'll discover the 6-pillar blueprint that shows you the exact activity to do next, how to do it, and how to leverage others and technology to grow fast and gracefully. If you want to join a group of 20 other like-minded, highly driven business owners on the 22nd, then comment business freedom in the comments below. Or if you know someone who should attend, then tag them in the comments. Let them know you are proud of them and you're proud of what they've achieved so far, because they deserve to know. Make 2017 your best year yet in business. Now, guys, you should be listening to that going, frick, that's sexy. Quinta and I did this awesome exercise. Oh, look, kudos, Quinta. You did a great job on that copy. We both did.
I couldn't have done it without you.
speaks from my heart, and Quinton put his magic together on it. So well done. And if you're after anyone, guys, to like really drive your marketing from your authentic message, Quinton is so your guy. But when you listen to this, what you should hear is we're elegantly tapping into this character that, we're not calling her out on having problems or, struggling in business at all. We're like, you're awesome. Hey, do you want someone on your team that actually sees your awesomeness and can assist you be even more awesome?
Yeah.
And she's like, hell yeah, I do. Versus, hey, dude, you're not as awesome as you should be. You could be so much more awesome. You've got this problem, that problem, that problem. Quite frankly, you suck a bit. I bet you go home and you worry at night, and you're probably worried if your husband's going to leave you, and and watch my avatar run. So, guys, the points we're making here for you is, 1, get into an epic state where you're passion-driven, you've got a good purpose, a good message, a great purpose, actually, that you're in a great space of giving, of wanting your marketing to reach and help other people. 2, really get to know your market. Get to know, who are they? Like, do your avatar research. Make sure you research your market, because when you get online, you need to be able to talk to a piece of the market really well. And so many people are trying to scream at everybody in the marketplace, and it doesn't work. So from a strategy perspective, the way we sell offline is the way we need to sell online. But think about what you do offline, right? Offline, you speak to one person, you build a bit of rapport, you ask them targeted questions, and you sell them what they need. When you take that and you replicate that into online, that means we still need to speak to one person, and we speak to the ideal client. We create an avatar and we channel our message to that person. Some people are going to resonate with it, some people aren't. What you'll find with speaking to an avatar, if you're worried that, oh my God, but if I just speak to one avatar, I'll miss this. No, you yourself can get attracted to 70% of someone's message and you'll buy from them. You'll find that a lot of your market, there'll be your absolute ideal client, the bullseye, and then there's a whole, 30% leeway of, there'll be 70% of your message that's ideal in speaking to that person, and they'll want to do business with you. Would you agree with that, or what would you add to that?
I think you said it perfectly. That's very well said. Yeah.
So upon that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you're not in it already, join the club. Join Marketing with Vino Club Facebook group. We've created it for you so you can ask us questions. You've got quicker access to the podcast episodes. All you need to do is go to marketingwithvino.com. There'll be a little button that says join the club. Just press that button and myself, Quinton, or one of the team will let you in and we'll rock out and get to know each other a bit more. Quinton, Absolutely. It has been a freaking pleasure and honor speaking to you. Love that. I'm in Bali and we've got technology that lets us communicate because many, many years ago, I would have had to write you a letter. And now...
And even before that, it was smoke signals.
I would have had to SOS smoke signal you. That's right. A message in a bottle.
Yes.
Would have been home by then. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and just for bringing your awesomeness, to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're so grateful to have the ability to share our message with you too. Have a phenomenal day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world, and peace.
Thanks, Gabs. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Lots of love.
Bye.
You've been listening to Marketing with Vino. If you enjoyed this episode and want to access the resources discussed in this episode, go to marketingwithvino.com and select which episode you've listened to.